Hey everybody, it's me Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 Hertz, the universal frequency. Balance out psychologically and emotionally and further strengthen your brain and your heart's coherence as well. Get a plant-based diet going for yourselves today and nurture yourself rights back into life. We are literally herbivores in our nature. Further balance out your physical body's pH level and to get with alkalinity. Then you can generate some static, electricity. Send me some love telepathically. Set attention to your mind and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to great days. So I got the 13th episode of Life is Deeper Than We Know for you, and since it is the 13th episode, I'm going to introduce the 13th zodiac sign and the corresponding entity with it, and I'm going to go a little bit on the significance of the number 13th within the matrix, okay, and the energy behind it. But yeah, that's pretty much the summary. So let's get right into it, or the introduction. Let's get right into it. Today's video is Life is Deeper Than We Know, 13. Now, so the non-human entity, it's going to be the Ophiuchus, okay, and the Ophiuchus is also the 13th zodiac sign. 13th zodiac sign corresponds with the entity Ophiuchus, okay, and this entity, they're not human, maybe some part man, okay, whatever that is, whatever human is, but let's say the Ophiuchus themselves, they're not human, okay, they're anthropomorphic reptilian humanoids, okay, and this gives them the abilities of shape-shifting. It gives them the abilities to transcend time. It gives them the abilities to traverse the multiverse. It gives them the abilities to or the capabilities to structure fourth dimension. Okay, they're not of a third dimensional nature, they're of a fourth dimensional nature. Okay, and the Ophiuchus as the zodiac sign, it's the 13th zodiac sign, right? And it's not always included in the 12 zodiacal system, but it is there. Okay, the 13th zodiac sign, Ophiuchus, is also known as the snake bearer, okay, and its constellation is a man holding a serpent above his head, you know, and the constellation of the serpent is the constellation Serpens. So it's like together it's serpents, and then this man, and then together it's Ophiuchus, the snake bearer. Okay, now the 13th zodiac sign, it's also a gateway into the fourth dimension. Okay, it's a gateway into the next dimensional octave, which is the fourth dimension, which is a mental dimension. Okay, it's of mental nature, and it's transcending the third dimension, the physical body, okay, into the mental body, the fourth, and the Ophiuchus, the corresponding entity, the anthropomorphic non-human reptilians, humanoids, they are actually mental beings as well. They're not third dimensional beings, they're fourth dimensional beings, which is actually what gives them the abilities to shapeshift and transcend time and traverse the multiverse, do things like this. Okay, I'll most definitely do an in-depth video specifically on the Ophiuchus, okay, because it goes deeper. But let's get right into the next topic. Okay, so the next topic is going to be all about the Merkaba. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit into the energy bodies and the aura. Okay, so the Merkaba, if you do not know, is pretty much our light or spiritual body. Okay, we all have a Merkaba, and the word Merkaba in Hebrew, it translates to light spirit body. Mer is light, Ka is spirit, and Ba is body. Okay, so Merkaba is light spirit body, and it's literally our spiritual body. It's symbolized by the Star of David, okay, or by a 6-pointed star, okay, but that's in 2 dimension. The 3rd dimensional symbol for it is the star tetrahedron, which adds a little bit more depth because you're able to see the 2 tetrahedrons superimposing each other, one facing upwards and one facing downwards. The tetrahedron facing upwards is the masculine tetrahedron. It's called the sun tetrahedron, and the one pointing downwards is pretty much the feminine tetrahedron. It's called the earth tetrahedron. Okay, and they're superimposing, so the masculine and feminine have pretty much come to conjoin each other in a state of equilibrium, and this begins to counter-rotate 4th dimensionally. It takes up motion, okay, and as it takes up motion, we're able to then rise into higher and higher or lower dimensions, however we want to use it to navigate. We all use the Merkaba as our vehicle to pretty much travel the universe, okay, throughout the higher and lower dimensions, all right, and that's the truth. Whenever we sleep at night, we're using the Merkaba to travel to other star systems, travel to other universes, even travel into other dimensions, either higher or lower. We're just traveling, all over the place throughout the space-time continuum. And this is why you have dreams that are so distorted and so exaggerated and so otherworldly, because in those dreams you're actually in another star system, or you're on another dimensional plane, or you're in another dimension. And what the subconscious will do, if you come into consciousness of this and you're not ready to realize this, it will pretty much it will have you to it'll set up like the threshold level of consciousness. It'll set up a veil over that experience of being in another star system in your dream to pretty much keep you from being conscious of it during waking reality, if you're not ready for that yet, but we all use the Merkaba when we sleep, even if we're unaware of it, or we're aware of it, we're doing it, okay? Now you can make it conscious, you can use the Merkaba in waking reality, and this is where it gets really magical. This is where you start to ascend into higher existences. This is where you unlock your ability to traverse the multiverse. This is where you unlock your ability to manifest instantaneously with your thought. This is where you're able to, navigate higher and lower dimensions, and the universe itself. This is how you're able to talk to entities who are not of the 3rd dimension, but of 4th dimensional natures, 5th and higher, when you activate the Merkaba, and it usually implies a rise in vibration. Okay, whenever you start to awaken the Merkaba, when you start to activate it once again, we will rise in vibration. We'll literally become light beings, because it's a body of light. Geometrically, it's the star tetrahedron. Okay, and it superimposes the 2 tetrahedrons that are 3-sided, one facing upwards and downwards, masculine and feminine, superimpose each other. The 2 come together, and they counter-rotate, and this counter-rotation, it is what actually allows for the generation of the multi-dimensional energy, which further allows us to travel consciousness throughout the universe, you know. And the heart chakra, it's symbolized by the six-pointed star as well, because the heart chakra is the point of convergence between the higher energies and the lower energies. So the bottom three chakras are the lower energies, and the top three chakras are the higher energies. And at the fourth chakra, the heart chakra, the sternum, it is the convergent point, the singular point where the two energies of the higher cosmic and the earthy lower converge. And this is represented by the star tetrahedron, you know, and we all have it. Okay, you can find a lot of meditations on how to activate it. You can literally just get your vibration up. This is why you see many people starting to eat healthier, starting to do these things, exercise daily, yoga, meditation. All of these things, or all of these ways of raising your vibration, is what is going to allow you to activate your Merkaba, allowing you to become spiritual once again. Okay, it's not like just some trend that people are doing. It's more so a necessity for the global ascension, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna actually end it right there on the Merkaba, because I'm gonna get into the next topic. Okay, so the next topic is all about the Matrix. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little bit into the Matrix. The Matrix is pretty much equivalent to Maya. Okay, so Maya in Hindu Sanskrit, if you do not know, it means magic or illusion. Okay, and it's pretty much like the cosmic drama, or the entertainment, or the play that we're all acting within, or that we're all filling a role within, to pretty much keep ourselves entertained, because beyond Maya, we're literally eternal consciousness. We're God. Okay, and one thing about God is that he's immortal. He doesn't die, and he was never even created. He's just eternal. It's an eternal consciousness. So the way it entertains itself is it puts on these shows, you know, entertainments, dramas, civilizations, societies, and there can be societies that have transcended Maya on a collective level, you know, but where we find ourselves now is within Maya, within that play or that drama. You know, you can also transcend Maya as an individual by going away from society and, you know, getting lost in the jungle, becoming non-existent, and you'll be able to transcend the illusion of it all. You know, you'll become one with God again, purely. But the Matrix and Maya are completely equivalent. You know, the Matrix is Maya. Maya is the illusion, and the Matrix is also the illusion. Okay, so Maya equals the Matrix. Now, that means that the Matrix, it's the cosmic drama that we're all filling a role within. You know, my role right now is Andrew. Yada yada. This is the name I was given by the government. Okay, and I had to fill a specific role within society. I can always give it up. I can always give up the name. I can give up the role that I've been given. I can leave. I can go into the jungle. I can go off grid. I can do whatever it is I need to do to get away from the role, you know. But right now I'm filling this role, you know. So I'm within the Matrix. I'm within the illusion. I haven't completely transcended it. If I have it all, it's been through subtle mystical experiences, you know, with various different spiritual practitioners. Okay, but I want to get into the significance of 13 as well, in connection with the Matrix. So, number 13 you'll find all throughout the Matrix, right? You'll find the number 13 all throughout the Matrix. If you look at the dollar bill, you can actually find the number 13 on the dollar bill at least four times. Okay, you'll find it consisting or making up the pyramid on the dollar bill. The pyramid itself has about 12 layers at the bottom part of it, and then the top triangle with the eye is the 13th layer, so that's 13. And then the eagle, it has 13 arrows in one foot, other foot it has an herb, and the herb itself has 13 leaves. Okay, and then the flag at the back of the eagle has 13 stars, and maybe even 13 stripes. I'm not too sure, but I know it does have 13 stars. Okay, so 13, it repeats itself throughout the matrix, right? In government affiliations or affairs, I want to say. There was 13 colonies. Okay, so 13, it repeats itself, right? And there's connection to the 13th zodiac sign as well, Ophiuchus. So I mentioned that Ophiuchus is a gateway. The 13th zodiac is a gateway into the next dimensional octave, the fourth dimension. Okay, and it corresponds with the Ophiuchus as reptilian humanoid species as well. Okay, who are able to shapeshift because they're anthropomorphic. They are mental beings. Okay, they are not third dimensional, which is what allows them to do so. Now, the number 13 and its energy is actually allowing us to transcend into the fourth dimension. Okay, so the reason why 13 is repeating itself throughout the matrix is because as you go up I want to say you go up the tiers of the matrix into the higher organizations, you'll start to see that you're rising in consciousness simultaneously as well. And the more you go up the tiers of the matrix, the more you're going to rise in consciousness, and then eventually you're going to hit that point of transcending the third dimension, and then you're going to get into the fourth dimension. And this is what the number 13 is all about. It's all about transcending the third dimension into the fourth dimension. The Ophiuchus themselves, the beings, they are gatekeepers for the fourth dimension, and this is why you hear conspiracies about reptilian shapeshifters directing the government. They're only directing the government because they're trying to keep people from transcending into the fourth dimension. They're acting as a blockage, or as gatekeepers, so that people aren't transcending fully into the fourth dimension. Okay, and this is why they want to keep you away from the number 13 as well, because it's like once you start understanding what 13 actually means, it'll start bringing in fourth dimensional knowledges, and they don't want people to be transcending into the next dimensional octave. Otherwise, or they don't want people to do this because you'll start to globally shift the earth. You'll start bringing in paradigm shifts, and it'll mess with their controlling hand. Because the Ophiuchus are also there to control humanity. Because what they're actually doing to us on a third dimensional level, on multiple dimensions, they're using our energy. They're using us as peoples like batteries to fuel their matrix. Because we have immense energy, we have multi-dimensional energy, and they're using this energy like they're literally using us as batteries to power their machines, and build upon their galactic empires with, and this is why they're at the top of the matrix, because they're acting as gatekeepers. They don't want people transcending into the next dimension, because once we transcend into the next dimension, we start to realize how powerful we actually are and who we actually are, because we're not only human, and then we're a force to be reckoned with. So it's like the Ophiuchus are only put there for gatekeeping. But that's a little bit on the number 13th and its connection with the matrix. All right, so I'm actually going to get into the next topic. The next topic is going to be a little bit on history, and it's getting into Lemuria. Okay, so if you never heard about Lemuria, it's pretty much a continent. All right, the continent of Lemuria is very, very old. Not super old, not like millions of years old, but it's very old. Okay, it's older than Atlantis. Atlantis dates back about 26,000 years ago, maybe a little bit more. Okay, about a precession ago, a precession 26,000 years, maybe 30,000 years ago. It dates back before that, so it's a little bit older, but it's its own continent, right? Even like how Atlantis was its own thing, like its own continent or its own island, whatever it is, whatever you want to label it. Lemuria was pretty much the same exact thing, okay? And the inhabitants of Lemuria were called Lemurians, all right? And this was around 30,000 years ago, or maybe a little bit longer before, okay? Before Atlantis, most definitely though. So Lemuria, it was pretty much built, or it was inhabited by Lemurians, right? And these Lemurians, they were very, very highly spiritual beings, because their inhabitation actually was amassed through a densifying process in itself. By this I mean the Lemurians, before they were the inhabitants of the continent of Lemuria, they were pure energetical beings. Okay, so they were in a very, very pure state of consciousness, and they weren't even inhabitants of the earth completely. Okay, more so they were just like pure cosmic energy or consciousness, and then I want to say that the one source, it started to fragment itself. It went through a process of fragmentation or something like this, and then these beings of pure pure cosmic energy or pure cosmic consciousness, they started to go through this process of densification with this process of fragmentation that was taking place. And then throughout that process of densification, they went from this high state of pure energy to a astral energy, which is a little bit denser than this pure cosmic energetical state. And they were within this astral energy, within this astral body, they were a little bit more denser, and this brought them closer to the earth, in its current stage. And they continued this process of densification. From an astral body, they went into an ethereal body, or the etheric body, and this is like one of the most physical or dense energy bodies. Okay, so once they were densified into the etheric body or the ethereal body, they were then on the earth. This is where they were inhabiting Lemuria. Okay, and basically they continued the process of densification into physical beings, and these physical beings were the Lemurians, and they're very, very sacred spiritual beings. And eventually Lemuria itself came to cataclysm, just how Atlantis was destroyed and it was sunk by global catastrophe. The same thing happened to Lemuria, but it happened before Atlantis. And Atlantis's inhabitants were actually Lemurians as well. There was Lemurians inhabiting it, there was Atlanteans inhabiting it, and many other different entities who were of higher and lower dimensions as well, but once again, the Lemurians, they were very, very sacred spiritual beings. I'm going to get into it with Lemuria. I'm just going to learn a little bit more before I start going really in depth with it. But yeah, that's a little bit on Lemuria. If you did not know about it, now you know. You can do all your own research, remember. This took place before Atlantis, so about 30,000 or more years ago. So yeah, very fascinating story as well. But let's get into the last topic to close this video off. The last topic is pretty much going to be an inexplainable experience. So this was about this was like 2018, 2019, one of these years. I think it was like 2019. So I was actually on some LSD, okay, some lysergic acid. Now I was like heavily having an experience, and I decided to take a shower, right? And I was within the shower, and I was pretty much just like, I was super entranced out, you know. I was just like staring at the tiles of the shower. You know, it's like a vertical shower, no bath, and the inside of the shower was built by some tiling, you know, and I was just like really entranced out because I was on some LSD, and I was looking at the in between the tiles, you know, where they would put the concrete, or wherever the paste is, or whatever it is, you know. I was looking into this, and I was just like blasted into this. And it's not like super extreme either, because I was also like coming down in a way, but it was like, okay, my mind was here, but my body was like super anchored. So it wasn't like full breakthrough where I was like bodiless. I was still in my body, but obviously there was like a mental experience where in between the tiles it just started to like separate, you know, into this like void, and I was just like falling through this void, dude. It was so crazy. I can't really explain it, but it was super fascinating, you know. The shower itself was amazing, and also I think in that same experience I was watching an Alan Watts lecture where he was explaining the cosmic network, or no, the Joker. Okay, it was an Alan Watts lecture about the Joker archetype, I think it is, and this was very bizarre, because I made some noodles, right? Some like very cheap noodles, and I made some of those, and I was just gonna like relax and watch or listen to some Alan Watts on the Joker, and I was looking at this bowl of noodle that I had just made, and Alan Watts was like going off on the Joker archetype, right? And it was very fascinating, but I was trying to eat, and as I was like on this LSD experience, I was just like looking at this bowl of noodle, and it just started turning into like intestines and whatnot, and it was terrible. Alan Watts was like laughing in the background as well, like he was super I want to say he was super hysterical about it, you know, like it I was getting into that omniscience of it all, you know, like me and Alan Watts both knew at that point that okay, we're God, you know, and because we know this, we can joke with each other on a metaphysical level, or maybe just a amorphous level, you know, and in that way it just started to turn the noodle bowl itself into like a bowl of intestine, and I tried eating it, you know. I took a few bites, but it just didn't work out. It didn't work out at all. I couldn't continue eating, and it was just like very gross, you know. And now I know that he was only helping me because, or the Joker was only helping me, or God was only helping me to just not eat that food at the time, because now I know that specific type of noodle is very synthetic, and it's just terrible. It kept me away from eating it by just turning it into intestine, you know, which is pretty disgusting as well. But yeah, that's one of the inexplainable experiences. They both go pretty deep, you know, into like no word, but I did my best to explain it. That's pretty much it for today's video. Hope everybody did enjoy. That is Life is Deeper Than We Know, number 13. Alright, so subscribe over here to the left of me and help me reach, or support the channel for more daily content. Drop a like on the video to the right of me and support the channel once again. Generate some static electricity from the etheric body, or the first layer of the aura. It needs to be strengthened and realized for the collective rising consciousness. I love you, everybody. Have a great day, and